Thursday, June 6th, 2024. It's hard to remember one day to the next, but you think I'd remember the year. So the View started today with a discussion about the vote in the Senate about having a federal law guaranteeing access to birth control. And of course, the Republicans are all up in arms about it. Why do we need to do this? It's not illegal. Um, it's because you guys keep making things illegal that we keep thinking we have rights to. So, um, so Schumer says, this is not a show vote; it's a vote to show who you are. And 100%, this is the kind of thing. Yes, put them on record, and then we can run on that. Use those votes against them in the election. Hammer them with them. Abortion and birth control and women's reproductive rights is enough of a single issue to turn this election to the Democrats. Hammer that fucking thing home. But you don't have to end there, because hanging your hat on the one issue is not a good idea. But continuing to hammer that issue home is a great one. Women don't want uh, legislators determining what they can do with their bodies. Men don't either. We're just under less scrutiny than women are. But it's just, let's give federal access to birth control to women. Let's give women the own power to control their own bodies. And Republicans resoundingly say no. I think that's a strong message for to get people to the ballot box. And keep doing this, Schumer. Um, bring up a vote about creating a board of ethics for the Supreme Court. The Republicans will vote against that too, and the American people are really fed up with the Supreme Court. I'm not exactly sure why not we're not introducing impeachment proceedings against both Alito and Clarence Thomas, but again, the Democrats always think that's going a bridge too far. We don't want to upset anybody. We don't want to get lambasted in the press. Like, fuck off. Do the right fucking thing. You'll get rewarded for that, instead of having to constantly justify why you're not doing enough. Although I'm sure it'll make Amy Alyssa Fowler Griffin clutch her pearls. Because this has come up several times, sort of in the past few weeks, and in comments, somebody mentioned that she continues to move the goalposts, and she does. Like, I feel like she thinks her job is just to have an opinion that is some way a naysayer. She goes into the whole political bent of this argument about this vote in abortion, and she's like, well, it includes the morning after pill, and if we took that out, they'd get the votes. But no, no, I don't agree. Get what you can get, because then the Republicans will be like, see, we told you you could have birth control. It's okay. We're not going to take anything else away. Of course they are. And it's sort of disingenuous of Sonny to, as soon as the Dobbs decision came down, to be like, oh, that's it. Like, um, they're handing out decisions today. We didn't get anything on Trump. And at some point we have to get a decision on whether or not the Trump has immunity from whatever he did in office. And during oral arguments, it didn't look great. But Alito and Thomas aren't enough to turn that around. I don't know that John Roberts would go that far. I think he'd probably rather kick it back to the lower courts than grant full immunity. And if they're not going to do that, then maybe they will vote against him. And we're just waiting for the dissent opinion to get written, and they'll just drag that out as long as they can so that they continue to delay trials. Yesterday, fucking Georgia postponed the election case indefinitely to wait on this investigation on Fonnie Willis, whether or not she's supposed to be allowed to stay on the case. This is so fucked up. And it shouldn't have mattered, but I'm super pissed that she wasn't more careful. Um, I know it sucks. We have to be 150 times squeakier clean than we should need to be. But that's a giant disappointment. I don't know. I'm not getting a real, happy feeling to the start of Pride Month about where the country is heading and sort of decisions that are getting made. So, um, maybe I need a little more weekend to forget about it. Uh, but I did the other thing they talked about, and this happened. It's got to be over a decade ago. So we're talking millennials coming into the workforce. I have several stories. It didn't happen to me personally. Several stories from colleagues where someone's parent came with them to the interview, or would call the office to have a complaint about how their child was being treated, and it's like no no parent should be getting involved in someone in their child's workplace at all. Um, and if you want to take this back several generations, oh, I will fly. My father's mother, in one of his first jobs, got him fired for calling there too often to check on him. And you're talking like 1950s. So it's not new that parents are helicoptering. But I do think it's probably more widespread, and it's just absolutely ridiculous how any adult human being thinks that an employer is going to respond well to someone's mother or father um, being their surrogate at an interview or at work in general. It's just bizarre. Um, and I just can't imagine like how embarrassing for that kid. But anyway, uh, so it's not feeling a hopeful day. But there's plenty of time and there's plenty of vodka, so that can still happen.